Right, so setup-wise, very, very good. Posture great, arms hanging down. What we had was we had a club face that you said got a little bit closed and you would hook a few shots to the left. Your way of doing that was kind of rising up the handle and shoving your hands forward to try to kind of block it off to the right. For me, two wrongs making a right will work and it'll go kind of that way sometimes, but then you'll get kind of both ways and where's the ball going to go? Never really going to be a consistent way to hit a ball, especially with this club, okay? So for me, we want to try and get that sensation of how that release pattern is going to happen. That right wrist now is going to basically extend from there, hinged to unhinged, okay? And that's the speed releaser and the squaring of the golf club, okay? So if you get to the top of the backswing here now, as we're coming down, you've still got an angle in your trail wrist, yeah? So your right wrist now is kind of set like throwing a ball, hit a tennis ball with a tennis racket, whatever you want to talk about, okay? For you to stop hooking it, we need to move our body towards target. If you hang back on this right foot and you release the club, it will just go over here. If you hang back on your right foot and try to stop it hooking and you block your arms off, you will thin it quite low. And that's the low shot you said you were going to feel them on the golf course where the ball flies quite low and doesn't really get much height on it. It might go straight, but it's going to be quite low. If you hang back and then lift your hands up to try to stop it going to the left, your mechanism to try and stop it hooking was sort of rise the handle, push the hands out in front. And you don't often do that too much and too exaggerated, okay? What we're going to try and feel is you're moving to the left with everything as you're coming back down. So you can sort of see your shadow there moving. If I put a line from there, that's kind of the edge of your body. As you move, you're moving, So your shadow's moving towards target. You're keeping that wrist hinge in your right wrist there. Now as you get here, now we just unhinge it there. So the unhinging, that's going to give the speed to the golf club, to the golf ball, and you release it through. The club, as we can see now, is exiting around to the left. You're not swinging the club kind of out here somewhere. It just swings around the corner, which we want it to do. The moment of impact is where the golf ball is given information. The club then just exits on the curve it should already do, Don't try to manipulate that and try and swing out to the right more than you need to, okay? It's a natural release of that club, in balance, and there ain't no hook in that golf ball at all, okay? So it's a good swing from there, okay? If, and I say if now, if we get a load of these from this release pattern, the second you get a game of golf where you maybe get, I don't know, half your shots are just real big hooks and are good strikes. If they're poor strikes, i.e. thins or slightly ground first, it's probably your weight's hanging back and you haven't moved to target, because that will cause a hook potentially. It gets like a back foot cover drive, or back foot hook in cricket where you're back here going wee and just ping it over your left shoulder. So if it's a good contact, and the ball is hooking, call me. All right. If it's a bad contact and hooking, that's not movement to the left to target enough, and the club is just releasing too early effectively, okay? But only if we get that hook from a good contact, and then we'll make a fix if we need to. But I haven't seen any part of your swing where I think actually we've got to make that change. You had one that was hooky, but it was sort of mat first, and the one that was really bad was massively mat first. Okay, so unless you're striking it awesome and hooking it, just, and you can't stop hooking it left, we'll stick with this movement there, get your body moving better, get that release, get that strike, and stop you sort of trying to play kind of like two conflicting things going one way and the other, We're trying to go that way together, not kind of like pushing and hope that the two wrongs make a right and come together, because it will do when you play a lot, but then you have 7 days off, as you did, and it's like, hang on, it's not quite good today, is it? The control wasn't quite as good. So setup's good, takeaway's good, you're moving that torso nicely now, top of the backswing's good, left arm position there now. As we come back to the golf ball, from here now, it's a movement to the left, which you've done, unhinge of that wrist, snap that wrist there, releasing the club, through to full follow through, ball sailing down the fairway, buddy.
Great.
Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Cool, good man, very good.